guys, welcome back to another video. Today we have the event for Monster Jam Sign-Up Series 133. So right now you're looking at the field trucks, so let's go over the field trucks. Not very many people signed up for this event, like 5155 Creations said not much people are signing up for People's Sign-Up Series anymore. So whoever signed up in my sign-up series in the past, you are in this, so just look for your name on what truck you guys are in. So if you guys did sign up for my sign-up series in the past, you are in this, plus the people that did sign up. Which is kind of awkward how a lot of people are not signing up anymore. It's kind of weird. So anyway, we'll end it all off with Pirates Curse Galaxies, which is Demo Derby Dude 6777. And I'm also on a call with Curry Gaming and Mr. Jim Myth Gamer.
Don't subscribe to Mr. Jim Down.
And here we are. Here are all the matchups. Just look for your race and what truck you're in. All the matchups for round number 1. Just another row right here. Ending y'all off with Scooby-Doo and Time Flies. So without further ado, we're going to kick things off with the Battle of the Overcast trucks, El Toro Loco and Earthshaker. So Monster Jam Sign-Up Series 133 is underway. And the first winner is going to go to Earthshaker Overcast. Next up, we have Max D Overcast taking on Dragon Overcast, another Overcast battle. It's going to be Max D. Next up, we have the Battle of the Zombies, Burn Victim and Overcast. It's gonna be Burn Victim Zombie. Next up, we have Max D Gears taking on Megalodon Galaxy. It's gonna be Max D Gears. Next up, we have Pirates Curse Galaxy taking on Soldier Fortune Galaxy. Sorry, Soldier Fortune Gears, and Soldier Fortune Gears gets the win. Next up, we have Queen Bee taking on Kraken. And it's gonna be Kraken. Next up, we have Digger's Dungeon taking on the Orange Grey Digger. It's gonna be Digger's Dungeon hitting the wall first. Next up, we have Brodozer taking on Sheer Madness Grave Digger. It's gonna be interesting race, and it's gonna be Sheer Madness Grave Digger. Next up, we have another battle of Gears of Galaxies, Galaxy Earthshaker and Gears Earthshaker and Galaxy's El Toro. Oh, good save by El Toro Loco, but that'll cost him. Earthshaker Gears gets the win. Next up, we have Double Decker taking on Reckless El Toro Loco. It's gonna be Double Decker! Yeah. Next up, we have Salvager taking on Salvager Gravedigger. It's gonna be Salvager. And by the way, I was joking about that. It's Reckless Gravedigger. Next up, we have Calavera taking on Boneyard Zombie. It's gonna be Calavera! Next up, we have the Battle of the Elementals trucks, Megalodon and Dragon. It's gonna be Megalodon. Next up, we have Jester taking on OCD Meltdown. And Jester's gonna get the upset win over OCD. Next up, we have the Battle of the Stunt Trucks, World Finals 20, Normal, and the Holiday. It's gonna be the Holiday. Next up, we have a ride truck battle between El Toro Loco Ride Truck and Megalodon Ride Truck with Feathers. Just kidding. And Megalodon Ride Truck with Feathers gets the win. Just kidding, by the way, guys. Megalodon Ride Truck with fins. Next up, we have another ride truck battle between Earthshaker and BKT. It's gonna be Earthshaker. Next up, we have the Battle of the Dragonoids, Red and Gold. It's gonna be the Red Dragonoid. Next up, we have the Darkest Neo Bakugan Dragonoid taking on the 30th Anniversary Grey Digger. And it's the 30th Anniversary Grey Digger. What happened to the Darkest Neo? Next up, we have Wolf Files 20 Avenger taking on Monster Mutt Rottweiler. It's gonna be Monster Mutt Rottweiler. Next up, we have Gravedigger taking on Stone Crusher. It's gonna be Stone Crusher. Next up, we have the Battle of the Freebirds. 4th of July and normal. It's gonna be the 4th of July. Next up, we have Max D 10th Anniversary taking on Team Mints. It's gonna be Team Mints. Next up, we have Gravedigger Ride Truck taking on Bulldozer. And Bulldozer flips early. That slap Willie cost him. That'll get the win to Ride Truck Gravedigger. Next up, we have the Battle of the Nitro Neons, Octanator and Jurassic Attack. It's gonna be Octanator. Next up, we have Alien Invasion Inverse taking on Wolf Files 21. It's gonna be Alien Invasion. Next up, we have Superman, which is a returning driver, Monster Jam Sid taking on Wolf's Head. And Wolf's Head is gonna get the win. So sorry to Monster Jam Sid. Next up, we have our good buddy Riley McCord taking on Wildflower. And Riley McCord takes the win. Next up, we have Wonder Woman taking on the Mix 8 Whiplash. And Whiplash flipped over, never hit the wall. That's gonna cost him. Wonder Woman did hit the wall, so she's gonna get the win. Next up, we have Nomad Avenger taking on Thrasher. Oh, Thrasher flips, and he will hold on to the win. Next up, we have Hurricane Force Elementals taking on Mohawk Warrior. And whoa! What did Hurricane Force just do? That was incredible what he just did, and he saved it, and that'll give him the win. Next up, we have the Battle of the Maxies, red and yellow. It's gonna be the red Max D. Next up, we have a brother battle between Subadigger and Gravedigger the Legend. And it's gonna be Son of a Digger. Next up, we have Tropical Thunder taking on Thunder 4x4. And Tropical Thunder crosses lanes and takes the win. Next up, we have Cyclops taking on Horsepower. And it's gonna be Horsepower, but Cyclops tried to roll to the wall first, but he didn't. Horsepower is moving on. Next up, we have Blue Thunder taking on Sasquatch. And another crossover, and Blue Thunder's gonna get the win. Next up, we have Full Charge taking on Joker. It's gonna be Joker. Next up, we have Monster Mutt Poodle taking on Monster Mutt. Battle of the Dogs, by the way, and Monster Mutt Poodle is gonna get the win. Next up, we have the Battle of the Dragons, Max Contract and Normal. And it's gonna be the Max Contract, because he sticks the landing. Next up, we have S10 Avenger taking on Aftershock. And nice save by S10 Avenger, but that'll cost him. Aftershock gets the win. Next up, we have Saigon Shaker taking on Backwards Bob. It's gonna be Backwards Bob. Next up, we have Time Flies taking on Scooby-Doo. Final race of round number 1. And it's gonna be Time Flies. Alright, guys. Here we go with round number 2. Here's all your matchups. I do not know how many trucks are left. So, ending it all off with Backwards Bob and Time Flies. So, without further ado, we're going to kick it all off with Max D Overcast and Earthshaker. Next, here we go. Round number 2 is underway. And it's going to be Max D as he tumbles for the victory. Next up, we have the bad, scary, burn victim zombie taking on Gears Max D. And, ooh, very, very close race. I do not know how to call that. Ooh. Very close race. I'm going to turn Max D Gears sideways. Oh, and just barely, look at the top of your screen. Max D Gears barely gets it. Next up, we have Kraken taking on Soldier Fortune Gears. It's gonna be Soldier Fortune Gears. Next up, we have Digger's Dungeon taking on Sheer Madness Gravedigger. And Digger's Dungeon is gonna get the win. Next up, we have Earthshaker Gears taking on Double Decker. And it's gonna be Double Decker. Next up, we have Calavera taking on Salvager. And Salvager flips over, and that is gonna cost him. Calavera is gonna get the win. Next up, we have Megalodon Elementals taking on Jester. It's gonna be Jester hitting the wall first. How do you feel that when we... Next up, we have World Finals 20 Holiday taking on Megalodon Ride Truck. It's gonna be Megalodon Ride Truck. Next up, we have Earthshaker Ride Truck taking on Bakugan Dragonoid Red. It's gonna be Bakugan Dragonoid Red. Next up, we have 30th Anniversary Gravedigger taking on Monster Mutt Rottweiler. And it's gonna be Monster Mutt Rottweiler. Mr. Jim Myth Gamer moves on. Next up, we have 4th of July Freebird taking on Stonecrusher. It's gonna be Stonecrusher. Next up, we have Gravedigger Ride Truck taking on T-Mints. And they both collide in midair. Gravedigger is gonna get the win. Next up, we have Nitro Neon's Octonator taking on Inverse Alien Invasion. And very interesting race, and Octonator Nitro Neons is gonna get the win. Next up, we have El Toro Loco taking on Wolf's Head. Ooh. But as you guys can see from the aero view, El Toro Loco is gonna get the win. Next up, we have Wonder Woman taking on Thrasher. It's gonna be Wonder Woman. Next up, we have Max D Red taking on Hurricane Force Elementals. Nice save by Hurricane Force, and battle costume, Max D gets the win. Next up, we have Salvadigger taking on Tropical Thunder. And they both collide in midair, and Tropical Thunder is going to get the win. Next up, we have Blue Thunder taking on Horsepower. It's going to be Blue Thunder. Next up, we have Monster Butt Poodle taking on Joker. And it's going to be Joker! Wow! Next up, we have the Max Contrast Dragon taking on Aftershock. It's going to be Aftershock. And your final race of round number 2 is Backwards Bob and Time Flies. It's going to be Time Flies. So here are all your matchups in round 3. But Time Flies needs a opponent to race, so we needed a fast loser. We're going to do Darkest Neo Dragonoid versus Superman. Oh! I thought Darkest Neo Dragonoid had that, but Superman blocked him for the win, and he rolls on like his body or tires or something that flips over. I thought he had that, but Superman blocks him for the win. Alright, now we're ready for round 3. Let's kick it all off with Max D Overcast and Gears Max D. Here we go, round 3 underway. It's gonna be Max D Overcast. Next up, we have Digger's Dungeon taking on Soldier Fortune Gears. And it's Soldier Fortune Gears. Next up, we have Double Decker taking on Calavera. And it's gonna be Calavera. Next up, we have Megalodon Ride Truck taking on Jester. And what a collide in midair that was, and it's gonna go to Jester. Next up, we have the Red Bakugan Dragonoid taking on Monster Mutt Rottweiler. And it's gonna go to Dragonoid. Next up, we have Gravedigger Ride Truck taking on Stonecrusher. And whoa! Very interesting race, but let's go straight down. Look at the top of your screen. You can see Gravedigger Ride Truck's tire is sticking out further, so he's going to get the win. Next up, we have El Toro Loco taking on Nitro Neon's Octanator. And it's gonna be El Toro Loco! Next up, we have Max D Red taking on Wonder Woman. It was Max D Red. He did hit the wall first. Next up, we have Blue Thunder taking out Tropical Thunder. And it's gonna be Blue Thunder. Next up, we have Joker taking on Aftershock. And another upset race, and it's gonna go to the Joker. Alright guys, final race of round 3 is Time Flies and Superman. And it's Superman. Alright guys, here are the matchups left for the next round, but we need 5 fast losers, and we won't need any fast losers from here on out, so I'm just gonna select some trucks. So here are the trucks I selected, and there won't be any more fast losers from here on out, so without further ado, we're gonna kick things off with Max D Overcast and Soldier Fortune Gears. And Soldier Fortune Gears. Next up, we have Calvera taking on Jester. It's gonna be Calvera. Next up, we have Gravedigger Ride taking on Bakugan Dragonoid. And it's good. Oh! I do not know. Oh, I do not know. Ooh, I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to do a rerun. Here goes the rerun. And this time it's gonna be Gravedigger Ride. Next up we have El Toro Loco taking on Max D Red. Oh! Interesting race. But if you go straight down, just barely Max D Red. Next up, we have Joker taking on Blue Thunder. And it's Blue Thunder as he rockets away. Next up, we have a rematch from last round. Darkest Neo, Bakugan Dragonoid, and Superman. Oh, and so close again, and Superman holds him off. Next up, we have Nitro Neon's Octanator taking on Bulldozer. Ooh, what a close race. I'm gonna have to redo that. Alright guys, that previous race was way too close to call, so I'm gonna have to do a rerun. And they both flip over. Let's go straight down. It's gonna be Bulldozer. Next up, we have Monster Butt Rottweiler taking on Double Decker. Monster Jam Firestorm versus Monster Jam Myth Gamer. It's gonna be Double Decker. Hey, alright guys, here's the guys that moved on to the quarterfinals. Let's kick it off with Calvera and Soldier Fortune Gears. Here we go. It's gonna be Soldier Fortune Gears. Next up, we have Gravedigger Ride taking on Max D Red. It's gonna be Gravedigger Ride. Next up, we have Blue Thunder taking on Superman. It's gonna be Blue Thunder. And your final race before the semifinals is Double Decker and Bulldozer. And it's gonna be Double Decker with a block. Alright guys, here's your top 4 competitors. Inside the Soldier Fortune Gears, we have Monster Truck Lover 239. Inside of the Gravedigger Ride Truck, we have Monster Jam Collector Racing. Inside Blue Thunder, we have Andy Lowski. And inside Double Decker, we have Monster Jam Firestorm. So those are your top 4 competitors. So without further ado, we're going to kick things off with Soldier Fortune Gears and Gravedigger Ride. Alright, here we go. It's going to be Monster Jam Collector Racing and Gravedigger Ride. So sorry to Monster Truck Lover 239. Alright, guys. Who is going to face Monster Jam Collector Racing and Gravedigger Ride? Is it going to be Andy Lowski and Blue Thunder, or Monster Jam Firestorm and Double Decker? It's going to be Andy Lowski and Blue Thunder. Alright, guys, here is your championship race. Inside the Blue Thunder, we have Andy Lasky looking for his second win. And inside a Grave Digger Ride Truck, we have Monster Jam Collector Racing looking for his 15th win. Well, your winner on Monster Jam Side Series 133 is going to be none other than Monster Jam Collector Racing. Upsets Andy Lasky and Blue Thunder for the win. Oh my goodness. Corbin, you just made history, man, and you just got lucky. You just got your 15th win on my channel. It's been a while since you won, and you finally made it happen in the right truck. Unbelievable. Andy Lasky and the Blue Thunder. You were so close, man, for getting your second win, man. You just gotta make it that one step further. I know you'll get your win one day. I thought you had it, but evidently you got a little too fast and got out of control and flipped over. But Blue Thunder is like the fastest spin master so far on my channel. Just gotta make it that one step further, and I know you'll get your second win. But anyways, guys, congratulations to Monster Jam Collector Racing for taking his 15th win, I believe, on my channel. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Yeah. Yeah.